Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. We have an O'Reilly Factor special in progress right now. The theme, the political things that are on my mind, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Number one, John Boehner, former Speaker of the House, calling Ted Cruz, current presidential candidate, the devil.
How about Ted Cruz? Lucifer in the flesh. In Washington, I have as many Democrat friends as I have Republican friends. I get along with almost everybody. But I have never worked with a more miserable son of over my dead body will he be president.
Now, Mr. Boehner does not like Cruz because of the senator's unwillingness to compromise over the budget and other issues. The problem here is this. Boehner's a sniper. We invited the speaker on the program tonight. He turned us down, as always. If you're going to smear someone, Mr. Speaker, at least submit yourself to questioning in order to provide some perspective. Talking Points does not respect backstabbing. You have a beef, state it, back it up. Boehner was wrong not in saying what he said. He's entitled to his opinion. But in the sneaky way, he did it. Second thing on my mind, Will Ferrell, very successful actor-comedian, was apparently about to do a satire that included mocking Ronald Reagan's Alzheimer's condition. Front page in the New York Post today, and Variety is also reporting that Ferrell agreed to produce and star in a movie called Reagan, which deals with the president's dementia. Recently, there was a reading of the script, and there was a lot of denigration of the late president. The movie thus far is unsold, and I believe it will remain so because now Will Ferrell is pulled out of the project after getting hammered in the court of public opinion. Now, I know a lot about this because I am an executive producer of the upcoming movie Killing Reagan, based on my book. We are currently in pre-production, film set to air on the National Geographic Channel this coming October. I am very involved with the script, making sure Ronald Reagan is treated with respect and fairness. That's how he's treated in my book, and that's how he'll be treated in the movie, even though we will tell the truth about the president. As for Ferrell, if he had gone ahead with the dopey film, he would have put his career on the line. While satirizing political people is a good thing in a vibrant democracy, cruelty is not. Will Ferrell is an uber-liberal guy. Again, not a problem unless his zealotry crosses the lines of decency. Dementia is not something you treat lightly, nor is the legacy of a president many consider to be a patriot. Number three, the continuing chaos outside political rallies that Donald Trump is holding. Last night in Costa Mesa, California, outside of Los Angeles, 17 arrested for a variety of offenses while protesting Mr. Trump.
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you!
It started with a passionate but peaceful exchange of views outside the Trump campaign event.
What are you doing?
But as the sun went down and the tension rose, hundreds of protesters moved from the parking lot of the Pacific Amphitheater where Trump was speaking to the streets of Costa Mesa, blocking a major intersection, making their distaste for Trump loud and clear, with one particular unbroadcastable anti-Trump slogan repeated again and again, among other shouts and chants. But what had been a protest in the First Amendment tradition morphed into something much darker. Police donning riot gear, protesters becoming more threatening. A bottle was thrown at police lines, rocks hurled, a patrol car's rear window smashed. The vehicle then stomped. The crowds had stopped traffic on several streets. Among the vehicles trapped, one driven by a Trump supporter who got out of his car and then emerged from the crowd with a bloody face. The police ordered the crowd to disperse. They didn't, many of them seemingly more intent on taking selfies than taking part in political protests. Arrests began to be made. And eventually the police and sheriff's deputies began pushing back the crowd. In all, there were more than a dozen arrests as the police appeared to focus on containment rather than confrontation. But what was perhaps most remarkable here was that this all happened at a presidential campaign rally, a measure of the passions of this extraordinary political season, but a sign too of how easily those passions can and might damage rather than dignify democracy. In Costa Mesa, California, Jonathan Hunt, Fox News.
Thanks to Mr. Hunt for that excellent report. Now, the continuing anti-Trump shenanigans actually help the candidate. When Americans see people destroying police cars and generally behaving in an untoward way, they don't like those people. Their actions are undemocratic and actually provide sympathy for the person they dislike, in this case, Donald Trump. Many of these protesters are so stupid they can't understand that, but it's the truth. Once a movement is considered harmful by the folks, once that is established, anyone opposed to that movement gets a positive shine. Best example, Richard Nixon versus George McGovern in 1972. The violent demonstrations against Nixon actually propelled him to a landslide victory, even though the man himself was not generally liked. So you pinheads